That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
6 times repeated herself. Leave me the fuck alone. And what does he do? Acts like he can't understand her words. Can't understand words. Normal grown-up words. Leave me the fuck alone. And he starts talking about her clothes. Well, Neil, did anybody ask you? Because I'm thinking they didn't. I didn't hear her ask you. What do you think about my clothes, weirdo? She doesn't care. You know, this is how it is dealing with a stalker. Mr. Perry does the same thing to me. Everybody's so sick of that guy. I can't even, there's no words to explain how sick and tired of that bitch everybody is, and the horror that he's putting me through, and Mike Neely, and the creepy that he is, the weirdo that he is, and the imposition and burden that he is. So I mean, these guys get all upset when we get their names, like Bald Fat Calvin and Geppetto the Witch and Sanjay the Hacker. These guys all work for Charles. Who else? Lucius, you know. Well, but he asked for it, because you know, when you fuck with me, you get caught. We've been saying that for years. So you continue to provoke cops that are, you know, all up your asses, all of you. You've talked to them face to face. You just didn't know that's who you're talking to. As good as I am at a sting op, and everybody knows I'm very good at a sting op, they're better. You won't know it if that's who you're talking to. I guess it's been some time ago, but I guess somebody. No, let me do the disclaimer real quick before I forget. This is the Charles Perry Stalker Podcast. This is Cynthia Ortiz. I gotta see what the date is. Hang on.
I don't want proof of this.
It is the 14th of January, 2023. I've been stalked for 13 years. I have to live like that. It's a living hell. Okay, domestic violence also includes economic abuse, which right now they're letting me make $30 a day or something. I should be making $100 to $150 a day, our forensic accountant says. When I was dancing, I should have been making 6 figures, he said, by her 3rd year. So, it's called, they're going to charge you with witness tampering. The act is grand larceny with intent to coerce, hacking, interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce, and deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. I was threatened for years. I'm going to starve you until you lie. I'm going to take everything you have. You're going to be destitute and digging out of a dumpster, or you're going to lie. Then that changed to, you're going to lie and be trafficked. I've sold you to a guy in Houston who's a realtor. But he didn't tell me that face to face. After police find out and they tell me, then he starts typing that in my phone confirmation. He hacked me, so he types right over my typing. It's very frustrating. He'll also ask me who leaks are. Is it Al? Is it Z? Is it Chris? Why would it help you? We all want you gone. Listen to the words and act like you understand me, Mr. Perry. Everybody's sick of you. I cannot say that enough. I cannot explain to you how sick and tired of you and your drama and the horror and the terrorizing everybody is. You, David Robertson, Calvin, and Lucius. Sick and tired of y'all. All of you. How do you think I got y'all's names? It's not like you called me up and told me your names. I haven't met you that I know of. Who Kate, Beverly, Blankenship Desiree, James and Ruben, Lawrence. I've never met these people. I don't know who the fuck they are that I know of. If I met them, they came where I am. Because you're a stalker. I live in Oklahoma. I left Texas fucking started my life all over. Mr. Perry, I left. Why is that? You get all upset. I have another phone. He types in my other phone. While I do these, like he thinks it's a conversation because he's a little peeping Tom. And a hacker, as I said. He abuses technology. So, let me do the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet, but everybody laughs at me when I say that because he keeps doing exactly what I say. We always get the information before he does it, not after. It's all criminal. The intent is malicious. So, you know, when you guys get hit with a witness tampering, victim tampering, and you think I'm going to come to your jail and go, is it cute now? I mean, how embarrassing that you people can't behave. And you're grown people. You apply the but-for legal standard, but for them doing that to me, we wouldn't do the podcast, would we? I wouldn't get pissed off and call him cuckoo bird. And believe me, Mr. Perry, people, I mean, you need to grow a pair. You need to take the dress off and act like a man and quit complaining about you getting, oh, she called me a name. Oh, here, we'll get you a tissue. You devastated a lot of people's lives. No one cares, really. It's just like this. Shut the hell up. No, we're sick of hearing it. You and your whiny, you know, your little girl act. You know, act like a man. Act like a man, please. If you want to be a trans, then trans. Trans over. Otherwise, shut the hell up and act like a man. Because you're bothering everybody with this. Apply the but-for legal standard. We assert all constitutional rights, especially but not limited to equal protection of the application of the Violence Against Women Act, Victims' Rights Bill of Oklahoma, Anti-Stalking, Hacking, Peeping, Witness Tampering, Victim Tampering, Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513, and all state laws. Coercion. Perry, shut the hell up. Get out of my phone. He thinks it's a conversation. Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. I got that information from police, not him. It causes paranoia, delusion, psychosis, hallucinations, and the inability to reason. Impaired cognitive reasoning. So, what he has is mental illness and mental retardation. Our shrink said that a long time ago. He's got something wrong with him in that he's very severely mentally ill and severely mentally retarded. Like he's got Alzheimer's, he's senile dementia, and he needs to be examined. Well, here we are recently finding out it's Huntington's disease. We thought maybe it was Alzheimer's, as she said. So she called it a long time ago. She gets it right every time. Mr. Perry doesn't like men. Doesn't like women. He would do what women like. I'm quoting. When I'm speaking in the third person, I apparently have to explain this. We don't even get that. When I'm speaking in the third person, I'm quoting someone else. Okay? Everybody get it now? I shouldn't have to, some of this stuff you shouldn't have to say at all, much less over and over and over and over. Perry, no one cares what you think, and no one understands why you think I would care what you think. No one understands it. I said shut up. You're just exactly like this bitch right here. She doesn't care what he thinks. She didn't ask. You are not asked what you think. You are told not to hack me anymore. Don't peep, don't hack, don't rape, don't rob, fuck off. Your attention is not wanted. You are the creepiest, nastiest, most gross, repulsive, disgusting, depraved, demented piece of trash I've ever met in my life. You get anywhere near me, I'll kick the fuck out of you. Do you understand? Stay the hell away from me. Get out of my phone and shut up. This is not a conversation. I'm recording a podcast, dumb fuck. Okay, a lot of this stuff that I'm saying, most people don't have to be told at all. They just know. These guys have to be told over and over. So our shrink is like, Mr. Perry does not like women. He would do what women like. Women don't like being peeped on, or starved, or exploited, or sold. And the second Cynthia says, here's what I like in men, and here's what I don't. He does exactly what she hates, and he does it more. Now who the fuck does that and think they're going to get a date? Who gets a woman kicked out of her home 4, 5, 6 times and thinks that's going to help you get a date? I do not go out with a man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal. I do not go out with a man who threatens, harasses, and terrorizes people, or a cop killer, or a child pornographer. I do not go out with a man who's creepy and weirdo and lazy and fat and a pervert. I'm attracted to men who are busy working hard and have something interesting to talk about and would take the shirt off their back to help anybody and everything. They're not interested in destroying people's lives. You didn't get invited here. Nobody invited you here. And you have come up to Oklahoma, used taxpayer dollars, and ruined people. And you are very, I can't stress enough, guys, Calvin, Lucius, Perry, David, how very hated you are. Fucking hated. We don't have any problem getting information. You do. You cannot name one guy helping me. I just named 4 of yours. Right? Or Beverly and Kate. Who are these people? I've not met him. Sonjay the hacker. He loves it when I mention his name. So, get out of my phone, Sonjay and Calvin. Calvin, I don't know you. You get pretty fucking. I'm told that I control your emotions. You get very upset with me when I don't like you. You're a part of ruining my life. Why would I like you? And like almost irate. And how do you let somebody you don't even know control your emotions that much? I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Okay, but everybody else sees y'all. Look at this guy threatening her family and shit. If she said, stay the fuck. I've never introduced Mr. Perry to my family. I would have never brought him around my family. But he's crossed boundaries. I don't go out with men that cross boundaries. I've been out with a lot of men, Mr. Perry, that had actual real sex with me. Actual real dinner. 13 years you've never had that. You're like John Hinckley watching TV pretending. It's ridiculous.
Make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you feel?
You want to put all the scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
You want,
I got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I don't give a fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can bring
Is that
the
a
fucking
threat?
army. I don't give a fuck.
And Mr. Perry types out in my phone, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna take. I'm like, you're not paying attention. You know what I just got? Calvin's name, and I found out he's bald and fat. We just took that information. Sonjay, your hacker, we took it. We got it. Now shut the fuck up. You little whack job. Look at this. This is how everybody else sees you.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is big.
All right.
That's okay.
All right. Hey, you heard the words fuck the hell off? You guys are all welfare. We think you guys all grew up on welfare because you have this sense of entitlement. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And women are to be subjugated. Go tell Justice Sotomayor and Amy Barrett and Kagan. Go tell the Supreme Court judges Oprah Winfrey, who else? Maya Angelou. By the way, some of them were abused. Maya Angelou and Oprah Winfrey were molested as girls, young girls, and they don't use it as an excuse to fail, and you do. And women, this is the 21st century. You need to get off Noah's Ark. Okay, Mr. Perry, I've gone out with a lot of men. I slept with a lot of men. I dated a lot of men. You're never going to be that. You never have been. You never will be. You're pathetic. And you're lazy. I guess somebody was talking about that. Mr. Perry came up here and said she's lazy. Well, what happened is he's fucking with her at work so she wouldn't go. Or these guys told her not to go because it was dangerous. Guess what he does all day? Sits on his fat, lazy ass perverting around watching her work. How embarrassing for you. And then taking her money. Yeah. Guess what I get to... Okay, so since August, when he kept really threatening, they needed to traffic me. Okay, they've been caught on the trafficking. They act like they don't know that. Everybody else knows that. Why don't they? We've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. If we're talking about it, if it's on Facebook, if it's on the blog, if it's out there, then it's not a secret anymore, you dumb fuck. Everybody knows you're caught on the trafficking. It's illegal to traffic. It comes with a life sentence. We've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. You guys are so stupid. I mean, criminals are stupid. Everybody says that. But there's actual criminology theory called the biological theory that says criminals are criminals. Causation, basically. I'm in criminal justice college. I'm in my 3rd year. By the way, I was on the dean's list for 3 years, every semester. 3.9 GPA. Until Mr. Perry and his little crowd of failure bitches, all wear matching dresses, and crochet or something. I don't know what the hell, y'all. They decided you got to sit around and have a meeting and try to make one woman fail. What? I'm catching your crime, David, and we get that you don't like it. Act like a man about it. Take your dress off. Act like a man about it. I didn't come here and pick a fight with you. Every time you cause me to lose 1 penny or 1 minute of my time, an eyelash, you're picking the fight, and you don't even know who you're fighting with. And that's not smart. We're quoting you, sir. You're not quoting us. You have not one quote from our guys, and not one name. I've quoted you every day since I got to Oklahoma. I don't know you. I don't know you. I didn't do a fucking thing to you. You've not lost shit. You're about to go to jail. When you're in jail, I'm gonna come see you, David, and go, is it cute now, picking on a girl? Why don't you go to a biker bar, you bitches, and find a biker guy and pick on a man? Pick on a man. I'll tell you this, the guys helping me are very chivalrous. Pussy, they think you're a bunch of pussies. Okay, so the crime causation that the criminologist defined is biology theory. There's different theories. There's socioeconomic theory for the crime causation, meaning you grew up in a poor neighborhood and stealing shit is just part of the culture because you don't have a choice to eat. You got to steal. So that's the socioeconomic criminology theory, and for y'all, it's the biology criminology theory. You have no low IQ and no self-control, no impulse control. You can't control yourselves. By the way, we've controlled, David, the flow of information from McNamara email, and that's just what you know of when it started. But remember, David, you came up to me at Lady Godiva's. I think I was walking by you before my false arrest when you were trying to kill me. How many times you talked to a hitman, David? I know exactly how many times. The police do too, the same ones that told me about the Huntington's disease and shit. And every time you want to take my car. We'll get into the car here in a minute. Because I confront my car guy, and he keeps going, oh, it's nonsense, oh, it's nonsense. And we know that you're standing right in front of him. How do we know that? Telling him what to text me. How do we know that, David? Lucius? I mean, you guys are something. I'm telling him, you are violating my privacy laws, dude. I could sue the fuck out of you. I know, we know that. I mean, way back when, can we not get her to the car dealership? We can't trust that guy. Well, she's not quoting him, she's quoting you. Yeah, and then I had a low carb, and I beat the shit out of the bottom of it because I hit everything. I don't know how to drive a car this low to the ground. I'll never buy another one because I did. I hit the fuck out of beat the hell out of it. So every fucking speed bump, I mean, I hit it. I don't know how to deal. Mr. Perry, get out of my phone. Didn't ask you what you think, did I, sir? Why don't you shut up? Get out of my phone, Connie Curry. You're just like her. You need to go out with her. You two are the same. Just butt in, nosy body. Nobody asked you what you think. Nobody did. This is a recording, not a phone call. Act like you understand what I'm saying. It's very irritating to deal with somebody nutty. I can't do it. I really can't. I fucking can't handle it. I'm not a special ed teacher, okay? Get one. You fucking need one. Just understand words said to you, dumbass. So, this guy's typing in my phone. I'm like, listen, you can't fucking give anybody my I told you from the beginning, I have a stalker. You do not get to give my information out to anybody. Oh, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. And I'm about to get pissed at him. I already told you guys, no more of that. No more of it. Okay? So, we also heard you guys talking about him discussing the bottom of my car. He told you the only damage on the body of the car is what you did, having her hit. Underneath is pretty beat up, but we've sold her several cars and they didn't look like that. I think she just doesn't know how to drive a car low to the ground. And I don't. He's right. And one of his, when I was renting a car from him, one of his employees said she's gonna stiff you. And him and his another guy working said, no, they're not. No, she won't. We've been doing business with her for a long time. That's not how she is. And sure as shit, I walk in and they pretty much repeated the whole conversation I'd already heard. So what police have that? Don't fucking do that again. Stay the hell away from people I do business with. Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice. As many times as we quote you and name your people, why the hell do you think you have a choice? It speaks to your delusion that you actually think you have a choice. I mean, we don't even have words for that. You know, nobody's picking a fight with you. But the thing is you're picking a fight with me, but I have help, and that you don't know who it is. You're picking a fight with people that can get that kind of shit, and you don't even know who it is. And that is not smart. I mean, it's so easy, it's not fair, David. They started calling you Dumb David. They thought you were the smart one. So, Mr. Perry, if I tell somebody I don't go out with men who peep, it's a crime for a reason. People don't like it when you do that. It's creepy. You're a creepster. You're a pathetic little creepster. And then you do it anyway. You don't want the date. I mean, why would you think anybody would think that you want the date? And likewise, when you ask me for help, he thinks I'm hinting at it, at who's helping me. Why the fuck would I do that? You're about to go to jail, and I don't have to live like this anymore. I'll never be broke again. This the Christmas thing. You know, she spent Christmas alone in her car because she's trying to help Mike Neely. He's a cop that they framed after they tried to kill him and he didn't die. So I'm cop family. We don't leave one behind. Listen, I can't speak for what everybody else does. I'm not responsible for what everybody else does. I don't have to answer for what everybody else does. But I know this. We don't leave cop family behind. I'm responsible for me. I have to answer for me. I can't imagine it. I can't even begin to imagine doing something like that. It goes against all my morals, all my principles, all my ethics, everything I believe in, everything I was taught all my life by my granddad, who was a cop. He was the chief of police in Roswell. He helped set up those fucking dumbass, stupid fucking alien museums. Demi Moore, by the way, was also from Roswell. At the time, he was on the city council. And Roswell was not doing well financially. So their decision to set up alien museums, damn UFO fucking, was for the economy of the town, because people come in from all over the world and spend a shit ton of money in the town, and it keeps the town going. And when I grew up in Roswell, it's almost like fucking Mayberry, literally. Like, they have a main street, and down that main street they had a theater, they had some dress shops, they had a JCPenney, and they had, Christmas was gorgeous. My grandmother worked at a bank there, right along there, where actually she worked at the bank that is now the police department. They had these angels that were, these angels that were all lit up that would go across the street, and it was just beautiful. I mean, I can't even describe it. I wish I had taken more pictures of it when I was young, and I wish somebody else had pictures of it. I looked on Roswell's Facebook page. They don't have it. I wish they did, but just beautiful. I can't even just explain how pretty it was. And all of that's gone. They gutted all that. And now it's all these UFO museums, and it's just not the same. And Demi Moore commented on, gosh, I miss the old Roswell where things were pretty, it was like these cool little dress shops and this quaint little town, and, like Mayberry, literally. It was so cool. Anyways, so can you imagine being involved in something like that? Being there when all that happened. The UFO, whatever bullshit. I know what happened. I'm not gonna say, I'm not allowed to say, but all I'll say is the same thing my granddad said. I don't believe aliens even exist, much less that they landed in Roswell. Anyways, but the thing is it doesn't matter what we think. What matters what other people think. They want to know. It's the mystery, the intrigue, brings people to the town. So look, he had an affidavit that he did on that. The affidavit is benign. If you read it, it doesn't say shit. It really doesn't say a thing. So it's not definitive for sure. And I'm not even going to get into that. Everybody else can look that up if they want. But when you grow up like that, your granddad's the chief, great-granddad's captain of detectives. My granddad's name is on the front door of the police station where he served, where he was the chief. His name is all on. They have this big room. When you walk in, there's this big room of honoring all the police, the fallen officers, all the police. And his name is across the front of it. And his good friend Tommy Thompson, who also served as a chief and a judge. There was a policeman named John McLemore who then became a judge. McLemore helped me tie my shoe when I was a little kid. I mean, I grew up in this. So my mindset is far from what Perry's is. Though, serial killers have grandiose thinking and a sense of entitlement. Everybody owes them something. What's mine is mine, what's yours is mine. And it makes you just want to hit them. No, I'm sorry, that's not how that works. Welfare. What is who the fuck do you think you are? You don't get to take a life. So anyways, guess what these guys tell me, since he had you sleeping in your car on Christmas and not with your family in Oklahoma and not with your boys, as soon as this is over, Caesar's Palace on us. We'll get you a suite. We'll get you a spa day. You can have Wolfgang Puck sent up to your room service. We'll go play craps like we used to. It'll be like the old times. You spend a couple days with, 40 of your favorite cops and all their families. And fuck them for doing that to you. Perry will be in jail. He can't. Perry will be in jail. And that's the end of that. And you can go pray to your little dolly and see if it'll save you. Right? Don't you play with dolls? Little girl toys? This is how everybody else sees you. You're an imposition and a burden, and I cannot stress enough how sick and tired of this everybody is. Watching me suffer. Watching you put hardship on other people, me and Mike both. And that's not just me, it's Mike too.
Leave me alone. I don't want this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, man. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Alright, so I mean, your bullshit of, I'll give you a house in Houston, and you have to suck all my buddies' dicks, and be creeped out by me, and I'll give you this, and we're just like, yeah, I don't think so. That's the other thing. We'll get you a suite at Caesars, and we'll go have some fun. And you won't have to suck one single dick, and you won't have to lie. And I hate to be vulgar, but that's what sex trafficking is. He's pimping me out. I'm not 20. I'm 53, dumb fuck. You know, I mean, we're catching more of your crime than has ever been done before. We have your code words and stuff you use. Muffin Man. Who's Muffin Man? That's a nickname for one of your people, right? So, when we say, get the hell out. Get off me, rapist. We don't know why you think you have a choice. We quote you every damn day. And that's never happened before. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. Because I'm not your only victim. And there's not just one jurisdiction. And you need to remember who it is you're talking to. And you have no chance of a date with me. You don't try to attract me. You don't want a date. You want to lie. I said I don't go out with men unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. Perry's going, I'm going to starve you till you lie. I'm going to starve you till you lie. I'm going to starve you until you lie. I'm going to take your car. I'm going to starve you till I'm going to get you kicked out of your house. And when they began making more of a concerted effort to do that, he did. So then we're like, well, we said, I told you so. We've got thousands of recordings of him talking about it. Him and his gang of Looney Tunes, sect weirdos. So, I mean, yeah, and you proved out a bunch of recordings when you did that. So now, I'm sleeping in my car. He's got a car guy trying to take the car. He's got the police trying to take the car, whichever, not all of them, but he's had some guys pull me over, right? I'm going to make sure you don't have any money, so you can't pay your car registration. They're going to pull you over and take your car. Right, David? Don't you beg every day, please take our car away, you and Charles? Yeah, we hear all that. And so, remember who it is you're talking to, sir. Because you're seeing things you've not seen before. Your guy said when he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. We don't know who these people are, but I have a feeling they're just flicking at us right now. And I don't want to be anywhere near Charles and Dave when it stands up and crushes us. So I'm done. I don't know if he's done or not, but that's what he said. And that's been several years ago. And we say it, and then we show you. And we say it, and then we show you. Then we say, every day, David. Doesn't get any more slow that 10 years into this, you can't, 7 years into this, and you're still, I don't even have words. So I get to eat about once a day. I have low blood sugar. Charles knows that. Everybody knows that. So that's not very healthy for me to eat one meal a day. And I get to take a bath every couple of days because it costs money. You have to buy a bath. And I don't have I have to drive to a gas station to pee, sleeping in my car, and everybody's mad about it. So when we quote you, that's why. David, you asked for it. You asked for it, princess. Cuckoo bird. Everybody hates y'all. I don't think you understand. Everybody's sick of this. What you're putting me through. And Mike Neely, too. I don't know who you think you are. But when we tell you to quit, and you've been quoted every day, why do you think you have a choice? Well, everybody's very confused. You need to explain that. Why is it you think you have a choice? You're in violation of the law. You're offending people. Your behavior is inappropriate, deviant, deranged, depraved, sick, twisted, and sickening to everybody, horrifying people. We can get information because of it. And you can't. Your cruelty gets us information. Our kindness gets us information. It goes both ways. And by now you ought to get that. So I'm walking in Lady Godiva's. This was the last thing I said to David's face. He says, I want to know who's helping you. So you already knew at that point I had help. Because you asked me, who is it? How do you keep finding out before? And I just kind of looked at him and he goes, I'll tell you who your real parents are if you'll tell me who's helping you. Well, you don't have leverage right there because I'm not 6 years old. At this point, I'm like, 40-something? 48? What do I care? I don't give a fuck who my real parents are. Maybe it's Lynn and Kathy, maybe it's not. Who gives a shit? I'm not a child. I'm already grown. I leaned into his ear and I said, Go fuck yourself. And I walked off, and that's the last thing I said to you. Did I hurt, grow a pair, David. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Don't fucking dish it out if you can't fucking take it. Quit acting girl about it. You guys have a bunch of you picking on one woman. And when you do, you get caught. Can you not put that together, David, how that works, correlation? We know Charles can't. He has impaired cognitive reasoning. He can't do it. He really, literally can't do it. He can't think past tying his shoe. He can't. But what about you? What's your problem? What's your excuse? When you fuck with me, you get caught. Nothing else happens but that. It's been ever since you've known me. And all you were asked to do is fuck off and leave me the hell alone. I didn't come here to pick a fight with you. I came here to not have a fight. I moved twice, started all over the fuck again. Twice. To get away from a deranged serial killer. Mr. Perry, I know you're a serial killer. Who's Mary Beth? Who is she? What'd you do to her? Here's the story on that I heard. First of all, let me establish for the record that in, when was it? 2011, I want to say. I represented a guy named Randy Reeves, who was going to run against Kel Seliger for the state senate of Texas. And he was in Odessa. I represented Randy Reeves for the state board of education. They redistricted him out of that deal. So he decides to run for senate. So I'm representing him. I'm his campaign manager. We decided to have a meeting with Mr. Perry to kind of, we needed to know a little bit more about Mr. Seliger and thought Perry could shed some light. He really didn't, but he pretended like he was trying. I mean, I don't know. So he and Randy go to a men's prayer breakfast of all things. He's really good at pretending he loves Jesus, but he doesn't know a damn thing about God, I'll tell you that. So he's a Satanist or something. Anyways, somebody told us that these guys are all pretend that they're far right wing Christian Republican men. They're all in the occult. They all have witches and crap. They all literally do seances and shit. They're full of crap. They're just frauds. They use that to get elected. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not seeing. I'm seeing a hideous piece of ugh. So okay, so in that conversation, out of the blue, random, didn't fit anything else in the conversation, Mr. Perry tells us he's just been in Montana. So I'm kind of going, well, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. So why the hell did you mention that? Well, if you know me, if you've gotten to know me, I'm going to pay very close attention to things like that don't fit. Right? If you're good at sting hopping, you pay very close attention to things somebody says that does not fit. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? It was almost like he wanted to brag and he couldn't. Right? Serial killers like to, you're not a famous serial killer if no one knows you're a serial killer. Right? Like a sad little maniac. I define you. Right? So, because you're just some pathetic little boring accountant unless people know about all the crime you've committed. And that makes you notorious, right? Yeah. See, it's a psychological bullshit. When you have to deal with somebody who thinks, whack job, but they're criminal about it. A lot of people have a mental illness, but they don't go around hurting everybody else with it. Right? But if they do, they need to be removed from the society they pose a danger to. Our guys have a bigger case. They've kept me alive. But the thing is you're doing a lot of things in other jurisdictions where those people need to put you in jail. Right? It's not just one offender, there's a bunch of you. It's not just one victim, there's a bunch of us. And it's global. Yeah, y'all wanted to be big shots, so you went global. Now you got a global problem with your criminal activity. And so there are some law enforcement and reporters involved that you cannot get to. Call, Charles asked me, is it South Africa? Is it, who else asked me? Is it Europe? Like, he thinks I would answer that question. Yeah, so, there is a woman named Mary Beth that was dumped at a lake just outside Billings. Mary Beth sometimes goes by Beth, right? And what happened? She found out you were impotent, and you met her somewhere, and then he drugged her, and some couple ran into y'all, and you said, "Oh, I'm taking her home because she's drunk," and you beat the fuck out of you, cracked her skull in two with a rock, and took her clothes off and burned them at a nearby campsite to get rid of trace. Mr. Perry doesn't have any law enforcement background. He has nothing to do with law enforcement at all. He's just a nerdy little accountant. A little boring, nerdy accountant. So why are you on the board of the Forensic Nurses Association? See, it makes sense for me to be involved in law enforcement. I grew up in it. I'm in criminal justice college. Yeah, you made my grade go down, by the way. A lot of people are pissed off about that. Because he made it where I couldn't get assignments done. Or my computer jammed up so I couldn't get them turned in. Okay, so you made me fail. I didn't fail. You made me fail. And you did it intentionally and maliciously. Yeah. 3.9 is a good grade. Right? It's hard, So, note that for the record, too. That his little group of failed men who wear dresses, picking on one woman instead of dudes, had a meeting and decided to try to make me fail school. Because it's criminal justice. Criminals don't like getting caught. You think we don't know that? But you do every time you do something like that to me. You take something from me, they take something from you. You get me kicked out of my house, we got Calvin's name, Blankenship and Desiree's name. Found out Calvin's bald and fat. Get me kicked out of my hotel, and I'm sleeping in my car. We get Beverly, Lawrence, Kate, Lucius, Geppetto, your witch, Sanjay, your hacker. You take something from me, they take something from you. Right? At the end of the day, we're gonna go to Caesars and have a very nice time while you sit there and think about how cute you are. Notorious.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof.
Okay, then there's Todd Reno. So, Mr. Perry has told people not to, don't do business with her, blah, blah, blah. Bad mouthed me all over Lubbock after I helped him get elected. That's how he thanked me. And Perry's daughter saw her dad almost kissed me in a room full of people. Like, you forgot he was in a room full of people. Remember, he's got Huntington's disease. Even back then, probably that may have affected that impaired reasoning. And she was very rude to me after that. I don't blame her. I would be too. I always want to know, what lie and what betrayal do you tell your wife Jacqueline and Jordan and Matthew, your kids, when you're chasing a woman who doesn't even like you for 9 years? I mean, how horrible is that, to do that to your family? If you'll fuck your family over like that, you'll fuck anybody over. If you'll lie in court, you'll lie to anybody, anywhere. So Todd Reno and I had talked about doing a fundraiser with Sean and Leanne Tui for CASA, which is he's on the board of CASA. It's a nonprofit that takes care of kids, I believe, who have been removed from the home due to abuse, and they got to go to court or something, and it's like a court advocate. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they are. They're everywhere. There's one here. And Todd is interested, as is Jeff Klotzman. They're both on the board. Jeff Klotzman was a Fox 23 news anchor. And so we're all talking about it, and all of a sudden they shut it off. And I'm like, the fuck happened? And so put all that kind of to the side for just a bit. Todd Reno dies. I've never met Todd Reno face to face. I've just talked to him on the phone. Now, Jeff Klotzman I had met face to face. So Todd Reno dies all of a sudden, and my friends are calling me, and they're like, Todd Reno committed suicide, and I'm like, you're shitting me. No. And I go, what? Why? I mean, he's a major leader in our community. I hadn't met him, but everybody knew who he was, and he was very, very well, highly respected, and everybody looked up to him. And what in the world? What are you talking about? He committed suicide. She goes, it's a shock. Like, nobody really saw that coming. Like, that's not really his personality. I said, huh. After he dies, then I see pictures of him on Facebook, and otherwise I had no idea. I mean, I just talked to him on the phone a couple of times. So a few days after that, Carl Tepper calls me and remember Carl Tepper's the one, him and Carl and Robin, are they spreading rumors of an affair? get your people under control. I don't have people. I don't have employees. Oh, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so he, so Carl says, like, yeah, nobody understood. It didn't even make sense that he did this. Like, he was doing well, and I mean, I think he was getting a new job or something. And I set him up on a date with Jordan Perry. And I go, did you? And he goes, yeah. He's like, they were like a couple of days away from going on this date. I said, huh, that's interesting. You didn't want Todd and Jordan talking, did you? Yeah, that would have been, you'd have got caught on something there, wouldn't you have? So, what, if you'll drug Mike and, then frame him for a murder, and you'll try to drug me, and, oh, I'm not stalking, she's just crazy. Right? And then you'd try to have a shrink, you have to meet with a shrink for a year and a half after you do your false arrest bullshit threat. You threatened it, and then you did it. I mean, now we all know that. Now it's a whole different thing. Now we know, right? That Todd, you can fake a murder. You can make it hard to tell there even was a murder, much less that you did it. But I've been saying it for a long time. Todd didn't commit suicide. Todd was murdered, right? So there's one. You got the Justice Scalia. William O. Ritchie was very concerned about the way protocol was not followed when he died. He died in West Texas, where we all were. And you're planning to perpetrate a fraud upon the highest court in the land. I'm going to send her home, say she's harassing me when she complains about me harassing her. Right? We got to shut her up. Things are different when we do it to her. The crime. Right? Stuff you've been doing all your life. So there's another one. Then there's attempted Mike and attempted me. Mary Beth. What about Steve Jones? Did he have an accident, or did you cause that? Did you go and tell him what you did? That you got a creepy problem? And I think sometimes you will tell on yourself and then regret it. And then that person what about David Nielsen? Was David Nielsen's accident an accident? David Nielsen and I were really good friends. So, I mean, how many of those people died from what it looks like? Or how many of them died because you did something to them and made it look like something else? Yeah, that needs to be examined further, don't you think? Because if you're just going around murdering people, you need the fame. Don't you want the fame? Notorious Ted Bundy. Notorious BTK. Infamous forever, right? Don't you want that? Yeah, let's talk about it. You want to talk? Let's get who's a good guy to talk to, I think. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. What about Chief Ridley? Why don't we meet in Manford and you can just tell me about all this? Because you want to be famous, let's make you famous. Let's talk about all the victims. Let's name them, right? Let's do it. I think it's time to make you famous. You're just a boring, nothing accountant, just a nobody. Let's make you famous, right? Because otherwise you're just like him.
Please leave me alone.
Hey man, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
All right, so, you can either be famous, isn't that what you want? And take credit for your work. Or just be pathetic like this guy, a little pathetic, boring, rejected accountant, nothing. Right? Just no excitement. You just always a small town, welfare, just canned food, that kind of thing. Can't actually get anybody to really like you. Just kind of rejected and abused or whatever. So why don't we just talk about the things that would make you famous, right? All the things you can do and get away with that you like throwing up in everybody else's face. Why don't we talk about it and make you famous? You know who else might be good is Detective Jason White or Detective Marcus Harper. One of those, Sergeant Marcus Harper or those guys at Manfred. Which ones would you prefer to have that conversation with so that we make you famous? Huh? Our guys can't come out right now. They're able to get a lot of work done by being covert, by being not known. A whole lot more than you can imagine. So why don't we just go to one of these detectives and see if you can outsmart that detective, or explain to him how you've done this for all this time and gotten away with it, and make you famous. Right? It's like this.
Turn the question back to you. Your job. You're famously drawn to, what is the right word? Destructive men. I read the title too. These men that you've brought down. I'm sure you think yourself superior to them. Superior to sad little maniacs with no power in the world, no form of expression, no impact. Besides their sad little crimes, they are exterminators.
You think the women they killed are bugs? Rats?
You define their very existence. You're the most important thing to happen to them. I'm the leader of men, Agent. Any battle I will be the victim because that is the world I am myself, Agent. You are the bug that got away.
Is it like that? You're just a sad little maniac, just pathetic and boring. Nerdy little accountant. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Except you're a killer. And look what you can do and get away with. And you want everybody to know that. Here's what I can do and get away with. Right? So let's talk about who you've killed. Put it on the record. Make sure everybody knows. Otherwise you can't be famous. If you don't talk about it, your work. Right? About your work. It's like this, you don't get it.
Still here. Come to watch TV.
It was on.
Well, a lot of stories about you. I can't get enough of you.
What the hell is she doing?
She's telling us where she is.
You pull her out now.
I can't. Her HT's off. Let's get back.
You have a line of sight.
Negative. No visual.
I can picture you sitting here, relaxing at night.
You thinking about me?
You remind me of someone. My father. My daddy. He was a sheriff.
Sheriff. You must have adored him.
You bet I did. He died before I left home for good. Now he used to take me for root beer floats. I'm the soda jerk who made them. He was not a kind man. I wonder why I chose to be around kids.
That's why I chose to be around kids.
Maybe. Hadn't thought of that. There was this one time we found this neighbor boy crying because of the soda jerk's meanness. If there's one thing my daddy couldn't stand, it was someone who picked on folks weaker than them. I told the boy to come inside with us. And when my daddy, Sharon, walked into that store, the soda jerk cowered. He got small.
How did that make you feel? Seeing the power your daddy had.
It was intoxicating. No, I didn't have that word at the time. How does it feel when you're women give themselves over to you?
Feels intoxicating. You don't understand your daddy. I've dedicated my life to helping my girls. It makes me feel, like your daddy felt, I guess.
You're not getting it. You're the soda jerk.
Wait now.
Jeez.
Other men remind me of my daddy. Sheriff Rowan. He has that kind of walk, that kind of power. He'll use it to hurt you, to punish you.
You can hurt me. Ain't nothing without me.
He's the lawman. He has the walk.
Beats me, Johns. I pay him. He's my bitch.
Come on, bring it on.
Come on, look at it. Everyone says that Rowan is the big dog. The locals say it. Hell, Magistrate Cotton says
No, because Rowan needs to believe that. I let him believe that. All those nitwits down in government, Jefferson Cotton, Geary,
Geary, wait, which one's he?
the whole damn courthouse, girl. I'm the big dog. They're mine. You don't talk when I am talking.
She did it. She got every crook in the courthouse.
All right, so these are from Clarice. It is a TV show on Paramount, CBS Paramount, and it is kind of like it's supposed to be the TV version of Silence of the Lambs. After Silence of the Lambs happened, and these are excerpts from season 1. I think the one you just saw was from episode 2. The middle one with the sad little maniacs is episode 11. I'm not sure this one, but this TPD is for you. You need to understand how everybody else sees this. The public is not okay with it. They're not.
Now, I would like to remind everyone that Attorney General Martin has come at my invitation to speak about the needs the President's bill attempts to address. To that end, I think she's doing an admirable job. That said, this is the Oversight Committee, and today we're reviewing the DOJ budget. Madam Attorney General, your personal task force within the FBI, can you tell us more about that?
This is an authoritarian state. I don't have a personal task force. I assume you're talking about the Violent Criminal Apprehension Unit.
That's right. VICAP.
The vulnerable of our country disappear and no one remembers their names. Not everyone who has been abducted by a monster is lucky enough to be the daughter of a senator, sir.
Some are saying the VICAP team is just drumming up headlines to help sell your president's crime bill.
You have 3 daughters, Llewellyn. Imagine someone out there field dressing one of them like a deer. Do you really believe that every mother wouldn't give everything to spare their child? That? The monsters among us aren't aberrations. They're a reflection of who we are. What we do with them and how we decide to work them out is also a reflection of who we are. I just hope we don't become a society that sits idly by.
We're all sorry about what happened to your daughter. But it might take more than sympathy to make you qualified for your office.
Sympathy and empathy for Americans under our protection seems to be in short supply of late.
All right, so as we just had midterm elections, we had 2 things at the top of the list that people do not like: inflation and crime. They want it under control. They don't like corruption either. I think the defunding of police proved that out. Now, we had this thing where Mr. Perry, look at the date on that email. Dates of my emails are very, very, very significant because we always get the information beforehand. All over the jail in my false arrest were... And for people that just now are hearing this, Mr. Perry threatened to have me false arrested. And we got what's called the McNamara email, I'll show that in a minute. I was arrested for filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing a job as a senator. What happened is Mr. Perry is not able to identify his legislative duties or what state he legislates in because he doesn't legislate in Oklahoma. I lived in Oklahoma. I rented a home in Sapulpa and paid utilities. My son was registered to Sapulpa schools, and I worked in Oklahoma and had for over a year. And he was threatening death and false arrest for months. And they were trying to kill me. I was getting sick. They were giving me arsenic, I guess. But I never got a blood test to confirm that or rule that out to see if my police report was true or false. It was never investigated. You have to file a police report in Oklahoma to get a protective order. They knew that because I had tried to get one in May of 2015. It was denied in part because I forgot the police report. They knew that. So I make a second attempt. I file a police report with Tulsa police. A week later, I'm arrested for that. Charged in Lubbock, not Oklahoma. So they obstructed justice. It was just a week. I hadn't even talked to a detective. No evidence was properly collected. No investigation. Nothing. And there's no political vendetta. I helped Mr. Perry get elected. So there's that. They want, then all over the jail, everybody in there said he's going to send you home, harass the fuck out of you, and then claim he's being harassed when you talk about it. They got a test case they're going to use before the Supreme Court. You're it. That'll shut up everybody, they think. At that same time, Justice Scalia is in West Texas, dies. Well, we got a guy that likes slipping Mickey, right? Likes putting stuff in people's drinks, like opioids in a cop's drink. So he's unconscious and in respiratory distress, about to die of opioid overdose. But magically, he's beat someone to death while he was sleeping. His boss, the chief, who just took my police report a few days before. Right? Those two, Mike and Lucky in Manford. So I get home and I cancel my phone immediately. They said, "Oh, get rid of your phone. He's going to tweet from your phone. He's going to try to make you look crazy. He's going to do all this." So everybody in jail knew about it. So how did they know about it? I mean, it was all over the jail. So, what? You know, you guys all told Mr. Powell, who told defense attorneys, who told their clients, and they told me? I mean, it was everywhere. So I did. I disconnected my phone, got a new one. I had my phone at home on the charger, getting ready to send to my attorney. And nobody was at the house. Dennis and I go into Manford, and we're looking for some snacks, forgetting that we're in Manford, not Vegas, and everything closes as soon as the sun goes down. There was one store open. We were kind of like, screw it, we'll go to Walmart in Sand Springs. Well, we had just had dinner at my cousin's. He lives by Manford, kind of between Manford and Sand Springs. And they were all way out, about 1,000 feet from the house, in the shop with some friends talking when we left. So nobody's in the house. We go into Manford, and I'm in the left-hand lane, and at the last minute, we're about to pass Jiffy Trip, and my son says, "Let's go ahead and go to Jiffy Trip." So I turn, like, I'm going to pass it if I don't. Now, from the left hand, I had to turn right. And I'm like, there's nobody around, this is just one car. Well, the one car was a cop, so we get pulled over. So actually, when these texts were sent, see, it says, my phone was disconnected. I wasn't home, I was being pulled over by Manford Police. Maybe Mike, I don't even know. He didn't give me a ticket or anything, he was just like, "What the hell are you doing?" So I explained it, and he was like, "Okay, well, just, don't do that again." But I was pulled over while this text was being sent. Like by a hacker. Yep, that's a felony, sir. So, also, at one point, I get 2 invoices on my son's case. The amount paid was $375. See that? I didn't pay the bill. The guy calls me, "I got your check." But I got 2 invoices on the same day. And this one was just about that amount to the counselor. I'm like, "I need a copy of the check. To this day, I've never gotten a copy of the check." He goes, "Well, you have the check. You paid the bill." I go, "No, I didn't. I didn't pay it." It was a complete shock to me when you called me and said, "I got your check." So he paid the wrong guy because he saw my emails from hacking. I would have, if I'd asked for his help, I would have never mentioned this one. That invoice was in dispute. So I would have never mentioned it. So he sent about pretty much the same amount. I never told him about it, the bill. Anyways, and the text that I was talking about with Mr. Morrison. or with his Carl and Robin Tepper, are here. Mr. Perry was spreading rumors of an affair. It got to my client, Frank Morrison. I was representing him for county commissioner, and I was pissed. So I'm texting, and I'm like, I'm pissed about this. You don't spread rumors of an affair. That's not an affair. You know, what's Jacqueline think about that? So Mr. Powell called up to, I guess, Manford or somebody in Oklahoma and said, can we just say that she misunderstood something Frank said? Okay, well, I'm the only one that can say what I understood, Mr. Powell. No one else can speak for me. So, he was like, well, you can, but I don't think that lie will work. And if you use the word just in front of a lie, well, is it not a lie? I mean, why would you do that? You do that a lot. We just say, no, you can't just say. So he was like, I don't think that'll work, because Mr. Perry never asked her why she's pissed, which means he already knew. And he doesn't deny spreading rumors of an affair. He denies having employees. Well, we all know he had employees. She named them, Carl and Robin Tepper. So, yeah. Anyways. So this was, these are some of the, I mean, I helped him get I consider you the bright spot in my campaign. Yeah. See, I helped him get elected. So there's no evidence of a political vendetta that would cause a false police report to be filed. This is, one day I got home, I went on a date with Daryl in Lubbock. This was right before I moved. I get home, and there's some kind of liquid all over my counter. I open up the door, the cabinet above the liquid. There's a hole eaten through the plywood, and the bottom of my vitamins melted. The one on the right is a brand new bottle. The one on the left, you can see where the plywood stuck to it. I call Lubbock police. Oh, we can't do anything. It's Charles Perry. We can't do anything about it. There's no forced entry. You heard of a bump key? You heard of a locksmith? You heard of paying the maintenance guy a little something, something? Yeah, he gets in. He puts hidden cameras in women's home, and he broadcasts us all over the internet, all over the world, and sells watch time. So, for his entertainment, he's pretending he has a love life using my body against my will without my consent. Same as he does these other women. So he owes me $1,000 a day for doing that, plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. Yeah, you don't get to do that. It's also a felony. It's a pretty serious crime. So, I guess the next question is, Mr. Robertson. See, here's all these. Yeah, he's jamming it up. Look, it won't go. See, like, where do you think we got this, Mr. Robertson? You guys try to every day fuck with my car. This was the report to Mike. This is what the car guy was like. Well, the only damage on is what you did, but underneath, I don't think she knew how to drive a car that was so low to the ground. It's all beat up, and it was. There's that one was a hit and run, right? That's reported to Mingo Valley after I'm supposed to get deposed for Mike's case. And we don't take evidence here. We don't do that here. And I'm like, today it is. This is a serious matter, ma'am. Look at Connecting the Dots by the National Stalking Resource Center. They always go at the wheel. Look at that. That's two separate incidents. 3. And then they tried a 4th time, and the guy missed. He hits in the back, see? Right behind the tire. So he missed. The 4th guy did. He told me I backed into him, and I'm like, with the side of my car? You can't back into somebody with the side of your car, you dumb fuck. So, yeah, there's that. Oopsie, right? So we get all this, Mr. Robertson. Who's getting that to me? Huh? Who got that to me, Mr. Robertson? You can't name one of my guys. You can't do it. That got us Calvin, bald fat Calvin's name, Blankenship at Desiree. That you take something from me, they take something from you. This, who got us all that? David? Charles can't reason. He doesn't have it. He's got a mental illness. And then there's this guy that follows me all over the fucking place. He'll drive through the parking lots. Look on that, it says police. Is he a cop? He needs to identify himself as a police officer or stop following me around. What's he doing following me around? He showed up at a DoorDash pickup. Drove through the parking lot and left. So I had picked up the order, taking it to my car, and was kind of looking over the directions, and here he comes. And this was also something he did in March. He did a lot. He painted his car since then. Look at that. He's a little old guy. He looks to be about 80. Doesn't look to be very tall. I mean, he's like fucking looking through the top of the steering wheel. I mean, he's kind of a small person. So I videotaped him that way. I mean, he just, wherever I am, he shows up. Drives through the parking lot. One night, he followed me from I was walking from Chardonnay Apartments to the Quick Trip right there. And I'm walking, and here he comes. So I stopped. I'm like, I'm not going until he's gone. This freaking, he'd drive through the parking lot at Chardonnay all the time. He would drive through, I mean, just wherever I am, there he is, driving through the parking lot. So I went back to my apartment. Well, he followed me. And then I wait a minute, and then I go back, and I walk back, and he followed me again. Here he pops out, follows me to the Quick Trip, and then followed me back home. I mean, this guy's creepy. He's got like a wannabe cop car here. See the lights on it? It's weird. It's a weird little car. And so that was in March. I think I have the date somewhere on this guy. I mean, it just fucking, who the hell is he? There's the video of him. I was just trying to get a picture of him. You know, you know, he had just, that was a whole different Quick Trip. This was the Quick Trip at 81st and Memorial. Where there he shows up at that Quick Trip when I'm there. Yeah, he's always where I am. So look at this car. Now he's painted it black. It's all black now. It looks like, I'm trying to get just a big, there we go. See how it says police on it right there? Look at his plate. Run his plate, CBD. Who is this guy? Is he one of yours? See the lights on the back here? I mean, it is a weird looking little car, but he's always where I am. I'm not going where he is. He's coming where I am. Drives through the parking lot. So I had picked up the food, walked it out to my car. Here he comes through the parking lot. I'm looking through the directions. So I finished looking through I'm kind of looking over the directions to get to the person's house. And I pull out of the parking lot right behind him, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Now I can get his plate. I've had a hard time getting his plate. So I got his plate now, and it says police right on the back of that car. If he's not a cop, you better, you know, you got somebody impersonating a cop. If he is a cop, he needs to identify himself as a police officer and tell me why the hell he is always where I am. Yeah, I'm not, God, come on with that. I mean, always. The Quick Trip at 71st is where I would go to. It's right behind right in front of Chardonnay. Chardonnay Apartments is right behind it. It's at like 92nd East Avenue and 71st. So it's where Chardonnay is. So it's right behind the Quick Trip on 71st and 92nd, between Memorial and Mingo. He followed me from my apartment to the Quick Trip all the time. More than once. Drive through the Chardonnay complex all the time. This picture, he's at the 81st and Memorial Quick Trip when I'm there. And then he's at a pickup. Where was I? Whataburger on, I was at Whataburger on 41st between Sheridan and Yale. There he comes. Right when I'm there. And it says police right there, look. Yeah, you don't get to drive around a wannabe cop car unless you're a cop. So is he a reserve officer? I mean, he's not a policeman that I could tell. He looks 80, at least. And he's little bitty, and he's scroungy looking. I mean, who is this guy? Yeah, I mean, that's weird. He's a weirdo. Did you hire him, Charles? I mean, you're not stalking, right? I got pictures of you everywhere you go to prove I'm not stalking you. So there's that. And this is the, here's the stuff on the trafficking. David, who got us that? When you fuck with me, you get caught. You take something from me, they take something from you. For the Christmas bullshit. I guess my son said, I didn't realize, my son and my ex-husband spent Christmas with my oldest son in Kansas or wherever. And, so, and I'm alone in my car. I didn't even go to my cousin's house. I haven't even heard from my cousin. So I had stayed away from them because Mr. Perry kept threatening the EPA to sick the EPA and the IRS on them, thinking they were leaks. Like, there's a witness statement. I mean, we got all this. Where are we getting that? Who has this, David? Dumb David. I mean, this is McNamara. That's before my false arrest. Look, he's threatening me with false arrest. I mean, people have seen all this, and more than once. How do you get Mike to Pensacola so we could kill him? We had to make him go. Who had beg him to go? Like, we're trying to force her back to Texas. I mean, the longer I'm broke and the longer he's in jail and the more crap you pull, like you did tonight, the more we get. Yeah, it's the same thing for this long, since that day right there. It's like they don't know what that means that I have that. We don't think they do. So, I mean, you choose, you asked for it. So, and this, I got this in jail. See, all of this, none of this is anything to do with politics, does it? Nope. And that was before my false arrest, not after. And then there's these texts right here from 2011. A whole discussion on stalking. Not part of your legislative duties. You're a stalker. Often, well, BTK stalked and trolled women or people before he murdered. Ted Bundy did too. Yeah, all of that is about stalking. Has nothing to do with your legislative duties, Mr. Perry. So that's what, this is the deal on the false arrest. Here's the order that was denied because I didn't bring the police report. You have to file a police report. Yeah, we're giving you arsenic. I got no blood test. So that's a Brady violation. And here's when I filed the report on the 21st. Not even a week. Not even a week. They didn't call me back until the 15th of February. I'm already sitting in jail. What did she say? I need your evidence. I guess I ought to look at your evidence. You think? You think, detective? So, I mean, how many times have we got to go, well, I told you so. Well, I did say. And this one asking for emails about Mr. Perry's threats, his client's threats. Then he took those emails, I gave them to him. Then he took those emails into court and said, my client's getting harassed. Wow, but you had to ask for the emails so your client's not getting harassed. Yeah, no, you guys like the fraud in the court thing, right? Mr. Powell, way back then, constantly. We need her whereabouts. What's her address? So now people are laughing. The Apple Dumpling Gang, Mr. Powell's trying to find her address, and David and Charles are trying to make sure she doesn't have one. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. David, I have stuff nobody else has. Charles, no one cares what you think. So when we tell you, here, I'll give you a bribe, and I'm like, nope, that's illegal money. It's a buy-a-lie money, and I'm not going to lie for you. Here's the thing, you owe me money. And maybe just get your hands out of my wallet. I can make money. Which Lucky told you to do. Get your hands out of her wallet. If you mugged her, he said, he told you, you'd have 5 guys jump on you and get her purse back. Stop taking her money. You're inconveniencing people in my town that she owes money to. My car guy's probably frustrated too. Don't talk to my car guy again. If he says one more time it's nonsense, I said, listen, I'm not arguing with you. I know exactly what's going on. You don't even know what I know. Stop telling people anything at all about my business with you. Stop. And as many times as we quote you, it speaks to your delusion that you think you have a choice. You don't. Don't get mad that we quote you. You asked for it. And that's not happened to you guys before. But the bottom line is that right there. We say it, then we show you. So you asked for it. Everybody else is sick of it. Everybody else is sick and tired of watching me suffer. And the more cruel you are, the more we get. I mean, it's cause and effect, same and different before and after. I don't know how many different ways I could say the same thing. As many times as we quote you, as many names as we have, and you can't say that you have any of that. You have not one name of our guys and not one quote from their meetings in 9 years. Why do you think you have a choice? You need to fuck off. Everybody else sees you like this. Everybody's sick of this. And sick of y'all.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is big.
Okay, and lastly, from my textbook, there's the reference. It's other people's money. I've filed more than one QTAM, which is basically you go into court and you ask, this person has used taxpayer dollars for a personal matter, and they need to repay the taxpayers. And again, no hearing. All this stuff you guys have with no hearing, but there should have been a hearing. I mean, you really, it's funny that you think you're getting away with this stuff. You're really not. You don't get to use taxpayer-funded sources, Mr. Perry, for your stalking and your crime. You don't. So when we quote you, remember again, you asked for it. And the more cruel you are to me, and the longer I'm sleeping in my car, and I'm deprived of food and shelter and a bath, the more we get. And when you're in jail, my guys are taking me to Caesar's Palace to make up for what you did to me on Christmas and my family. And I guess Tristan said there was not a concerted effort to exclude my mother from Christmas and make her be alone. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. No one believes that. Is that what you told him to say? I just wanted to see my brother, and my former stepdad was the ride. Yeah, no one believes that. So, I think that there's some things you need to fix that you broke. All right? If you don't, it'll be done for you. And you're not. If we control the flow of information, you're gonna let them control that too. That's up to you. That's up to you. You were told give back what you took. That's legal debt. I'm not taking your BioLi money. I can go to Caesar's Palace and be spoiled and pampered and have a lot of fun and not have to tell one lie or suck one dick, which is what trafficking is. Sorry to be vulgar, but that's what it is. That's what sex trafficking is. You're a pimp. And you're disgusting everybody. You absolutely are depraved, deranged, and disgusting. Everybody's horrified and disturbed by what you're doing to me, and everybody would like you to stop, so we can get information and you can't. Your cruelty gets us information, our kindness gets us information, just like that. No one's going to help you with the leaks. If you want help, I'm never going to help you. The guys will help you after you give the money back and get the hell out. Okay? Or just at least get your hand out of my wallet so I can make money. Alright? Leave me the fuck alone. If you want to be famous, then let's talk about the murders, okay? Tell everybody what you can do and get away with so that you can be famous. Because right now, you're just a pathetic Neil here. Right now, you're just a little pathetic Neil, boring accountant, nothing, nobody. Yeah.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want
Who can't understand a fucking thing people say to him.
proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you
me
were 12 years
alone. Please.
old. Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you
me
were 12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.